episode of Vlogmas in July 2025. I'm feeling a bit sad, if I'm honest. It has been such a nice month. I, at times, thought I'd maybe made the wrong decision choosing to do Vlogmas in July this year, but I've had such a good time and I've enjoyed it so much. And at this point, I'm kind of like, I could just do this all the time. I am in the car, anxiously early as always, waiting for Mr. P to come out, because he did have to go into work in the end today, which was fine because I had a lot. He's just texted me. I had a lot to do this morning, and I think I've got it all done. And I was trying not to like overpack and everything, because we're literally going for like technically like a day and a half, really. 2 nights and 1 full day, so I was trying not to like overdo it, but I'm also like such a preparer, and I like pride myself on my ability to predict like potential things that might happen and just to be prepared for them. Like I feel like I'm really good at that, but I do overdo things sometimes. So basically spent the morning finishing yesterday's video, uploading that, making a thumbnail, tidying, packing, trying to get everything I think I need ready. And I was starting to feel like a little bit stressed out, and I thought, oh, have I got time to go for lunch with Mr. P? Like, is this a bad idea? And I kind of tried to just not think about that. And I just got in the car and I came here, and I was like, I'll be here ready for when he comes out, and we can go straight for lunch and then get home, finish packing up and go and pick the kids up. We're driving straight there from when we pick them up, and we should be hopefully in Wiltshire by, is that him? About 4:30, 5 o'clock, depending on traffic. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's foodie / Christmas music vlog. I was genuinely shocked at how many of you were like, yes please, Christmas music. So I really enjoyed using it, and it got me like really in the mood. I chose like my favourite of my Christmassy songs, so I hope you enjoyed that. My arm is, however, starting to ache now, so I'm going to put this down. I'm going to go through comments and emails whilst I wait here for Mr. P, and then go and have a lovely lunch together. And I will catch up with you guys probably tonight, maybe when we've arrived, maybe give you a little Airbnb tour. I don't know about this one. I think somebody owns like a big, what used to be a schoolhouse. What used to be a schoolhouse, and has sectioned off part of it as an Airbnb. Looks lovely. It's like my kind of vibe. It's like country farmhouse type thing, so I'm looking forward to it. But loads of Ben's work colleagues are coming out for lunch now, so I'm going to stop vlogging because awkward. Drive down was slow. It was very stop and start, but the free practice 2 was on, so we just had that on audio as we drove down. So yes, we're here, and the Airbnb is so lovely. As you can see, it's just my vibe. It's the kind of decor my house would be, I think, if I lived alone. Like everything white, everything immaculate. Like, I'm very happy here. This is actually somebody's house, and I've never stayed in an Airbnb that is also where somebody lives before. It did say on the listing, you know, this is someone's house, treat with care, but they almost always say that, and because it's part of like an old schoolhouse, I just kind of assumed that like the whole thing was someone's house and they'd sectioned this bit off for an Airbnb, which I think might be true, because there's also another like studio like connected to this, like a little mini one. But I definitely think someone lives here like full time, because the cupboards are full of like food and things and like the freezer and the kind of thing you wouldn't normally expect in an Airbnb. But it's absolutely gorgeous. Whoever lives here, you've done a beautiful job. So yeah, I'd love to know like what someone's life is set up like to allow that. Like, I guess you wouldn't live here full time, maybe you like work somewhere else and you only live here at the weekends, or the other way around. Like, I don't know, I'm so intrigued and nosy. I'd love to know. This is coming from someone who would love to own an Airbnb one day, honestly. If life ever made it so that we could buy one of the tiny little cottages in my village, I'd love to, as like an investment, and do it up and have it as an Airbnb, and then when people come to visit us as well, they can stay there, of course. But I just absolutely love to. Oh, and now the sun is coming in, blimey. There we go, that's better. Oh, I feel like Molly May. I feel like it looks like Molly May's house, all white and black. So it's 10 to 6. So we are going to go and find some dinner. Probably, I think everyone's in the mood for a chippy tea. Haven't had chippy tea for a very, very long time. I just don't normally fancy it. It's just not really my vibe, but I am kind of in the mood for it today. So by the way, for those of you in America, chippy tea is getting dinner from the fish and chip shop. I've mentioned this before, and it always leads to loads of comments being like, what is chippy tea? Like, do you drink it? No. So we're probably going to go and get fish and chips and then snuggle down for the evening and relax and chill out. The kids' room has got a telly in it opposite the bed, which is something they have never experienced. This room, like every room, has a telly in it, and I refuse to have a telly in my bedroom just because I know like that would just have a really, really bad influence on my sleep, and I struggle as it is, so I don't allow a telly in my room. But I do enjoy it, like as a treat, like when you're in a hotel or something like that. It's just nice, isn't it? Just put the telly on and snuggle down. But the living room is lovely as well, so yeah, who knows where we'll chill out this evening. But yeah, that's been my Friday. I hope you all had a lovely Friday, and tomorrow we're going to Stonehenge, so I'll catch up with you then.
You that it was too late? When was it that you started leaning that way? 4 tires cut into the clay. It dries up and now there's just one road to take. It's growing up over with green, so easy to drive on, but not what it seems. The poison is spilling up.
Good morning, my friends. Happy Saturday. Happy August, I should be saying, really. I mean, it was the 1st of August yesterday, 2nd of August today. We had a lovely chilled out evening. I wasn't actually feeling the best last night for 2 reasons. One, chippy tea caused me, now it could be chippy tea or it could be that I got my period, but I got so incredibly bloated last night. I literally looked a good like 4 or 5 months pregnant, and I was very, very uncomfortable. And also I got my period yesterday and it's kicking my butt. Once or twice a year I'll have a period where the cramps are very, very strong. And every other time I have nothing. I have no pain whatsoever. Like, it's just an inconvenience. But this happened a couple of months ago, and it's happened again now. The cramps are just very, very intense. And my Graves' disease will be interrupting my cycle. And my cycle's a bit all over the shop. But yeah, that was difficult last night. Fortunately, I bought ibuprofen with me because I'm an over-preparer. So I was quite uncomfortable last night, but I had a very good night's sleep. And yeah, slept all the way, fell asleep really quickly, slept all the way through, and woke up this morning at about 8 o'clock. I think Penny woke me up. Like Jeff loves to get up on his own in the morning and go and like watch the telly or just chill out, but P will always come and wake me up and say, "Good morning, mummy," and let me know that she's up and stuff. I did say to them last night, if they wake up before me, because this is not our house, that they must come and let me know that they're awake. It is Saturday morning and I am just getting ready. Our Stonehenge tickets are at 10:30 and it's 9 o'clock now. So I'm just gonna get ready and then chill out. We're literally like 10 minutes away from the site, not even that, so we don't need to leave till later on. And I've found what we're going to do tomorrow. Literally on our way home, there's like a farm park. So it's like a working farm. It's a rare breeds farm, actually. And that opens at 10. So I think we're going to go and do that because we have to be out of here by 10. 10 till 12 and then head home because it's the race at 2 o'clock. I have decided to pop on now and sit down and have a little chat whilst I get ready because there's something I would really like to talk about. And I want to talk about it now. I don't want to end the vlog on this. I don't want to end Vlogmas in July on this, but I do want to talk about it. Yesterday, when me and Mr. P were having lunch together, we had a really interesting conversation and quite a big conversation for me. And I think it's something that has been on my mind for quite a while, and it just all came out yesterday. Like it was one of those things. Obviously Mr. Penrose is like my safest of spaces and I can talk to him about anything, but it's hard to find time to talk when even in the evenings you're being like, "Mummy," every like half an hour. "I'm scared, I'm sad, I'm tired," like that kind of thing. Whereas when we were at lunch yesterday, we just kind of had that freedom to talk knowing we wouldn't be interrupted, and that is golden. And I basically been feeling somewhat disconnected with the content that I've been making over the past few months, and just my YouTube and kind of online life in general, particularly the kind of podcast format. And I think like that is fine, that's normal. I've been doing this for 5 years now. That is a long time. And in that 5 years, I've changed a lot. I've grown a lot. I am not the person I was when I started sharing knitting podcasts. Obviously, I was a brand new knitter and I wasn't a designer and I had so much to learn and so much to share. Whereas now, I love sharing what I do, but the podcasts just kind of feel, I don't know, I just don't connect with them anymore, that format. And I think the reason there've been a lot less podcasts this year is because I'm just not drawn to them. I don't really watch knitting podcasts anymore. Occasionally I will, but they tend to be from like designers who only talk about their designs because there's still like opportunity for me to learn there. But even then it's very, very rare because I don't knit other people's things very often anymore. Occasionally, yes, but overall it's just my stuff. And I think, and this is where I keep getting stuck, and this is what I was talking to Mr. Penrose about, I don't want to say, that's it, I'm never filming a podcast again, that's it, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I want to still make content, I want to still design knitwear, that's what I love to do. I have no plans to stop doing either of those things. I'm just feeling stagnant, and doing Vlogmas in July has kind of affirmed to me what I want to do and how I want to grow and change. I have loved doing Vlogmas in July. Like honestly, I was unsure whether I'd made the right decision at the beginning of the month. And I was like, what have I got myself in for? Like, is this the right thing to do? Is it going to be overwhelming? All this kind of stuff. But I have absolutely loved it. It has slotted into my life so perfectly. I could keep going. Like, I feel like I could do another month quite easily. And even though the vlogs aren't as popular on my channel as like the podcasts, I get excited to make them and I enjoy making them, and I think that comes across. I think you can tell in my podcasts that my heart isn't fully in it anymore. Like, I always do my best. I always do, like, make as much value in them as I can. And when I'm in the moment, I do enjoy making them and filming them. And it's still authentic when I do it. Like, but I really have to gear myself up to do it. And it's just not something I find myself drawn to anymore. And that's kind of scary. Oh, I've forgotten my bronzer brush. Okay, you're just going to have to sacrifice this one. It's scary because that's what I built my business on. That's how it all started. But then I look at other people on YouTube that I followed for a long time, and you know, I know I'm not Zoella, but I am in Wiltshire after all, Zoella's home county. Like, she started off doing challenge videos. You know, she was a kid talking about makeup and stuff, and then she grew. She aged and became a woman and started a family, and so of course her content changed. Like, it would be weird now for Zoella to be like, oh, like, let's do like a funny challenge kind of thing. People grow and people change, and I think I'm ready. I'm ready to kind of diversify and do something different. Well, not necessarily something different, but this is really difficult to talk about. So when I was speaking to Mr. Penrose about this, I was like, okay, so I've got a couple of options here. I can go the Zoella route. I can create a second channel where I just vlog and I do whatever I want, not necessarily knitting focused, maybe just no rules, whatever I feel like doing, like just for fun, and then have the knitting channel separate. So that's one option. That's the Zoella option. Then you've got the sprinkle of glitter Louise Petland option, which is you completely rebrand and say goodbye to the old content, accept that you're probably gonna have a huge drop and you're going to lose subscribers, but those who stay are the ones that will stay forever, and then you regrow. That's option 2. Neither of those options sit quite right, so I think I found a place in the middle where I want to be. I don't want to like I said, I don't want to say I'll never do a podcast again, because they are important for my business, and I think there will be times where like it's appropriate, and like I feel like half the things I spoke about in my last podcast aren't even things anymore. I'm in such a weird place with my designing at the moment where I don't really know where I'm going or what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like following it, that every time I share something, like people get excited about it, and then I'm like, well, I don't think I'm going to continue it anymore. And I feel like that must be frustrating as a viewer, as a knitter, to be like, oh, she shared this design, but she's not going to do it anymore. And I was really excited about it. Like, I get messages all the time about the designs I've not gone forward with, and I don't want to frustrate people. So I feel like, as far as the knitting content goes, I think it's going to be better for me to share things in the podcast format when they are officially going to be designed. So instead of being like, you know, here's a sit down video for an hour, everything I'm working on, it'll be more like, here's a sit down video of what's coming up, almost kind of like a live newsletter, like a video newsletter. Like, here are the things that are definitely happening. Like, these are the test calls that are coming. These are the like patterns that are releasing. Here's what I'm planning, that kind of thing. And then a kind of, you know, general, like, here's kind of what I'm working on, here's a thing I'm experimenting with, I want to share in a vlog format. Because, as you all know, if you're watching this video and you've watched every single Vlogmas in July video, that's the kind of content that I love at the moment. That's the content I like to watch. I really enjoy people's, like, just everyday lives. And my everyday life includes knitting. So I'm never just going to be like, okay, I'm not sharing knitting stuff anymore. I don't want to be like a health and food and fitness channel. But I just kind of want to just be more relaxed and just share what I want to share. And right now, that's vlogs. And I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but I also can't cater for everyone. And I ultimately have to do what is right for me, because it's my life and my job and my channel. And if I don't do the things I love, I become inauthentic. And one of the things I pride myself most on is that I've always been authentic, and I think that is something that people, and I'm told that's what people like about my channel and my content, that it's real, that I don't hold back, that I share the truth. Like, it's not like, I love watching aesthetic, and I try to be aesthetic, but I'm also like, you know, I've got 2 kids and life's chaotic. So I feel like that was very, very rambly, and I'm definitely still kind of like ordering my thoughts in my head and trying to think about how I want to move forward. But when I was talking to Mr. P about everything, my different options, the thing that kind of lit up the flame of excitement in me is the thought of weekly vlogging. So this is probably the content that I watch the most, and the influencers that I enjoy the most are people who put out 1 video a week, normally some kind of vlog. Maybe it's a couple of days, maybe it's one special day, maybe it's sometimes a sit down video. Like, it's different every week, but around their kind of life and their specialist subject, let's say. And I think that's what I'm going to attempt. That's what I'm going to try. So kind of like the Vlogmas in July video, this mascara videos, but obviously not like 3 or 4 videos a week, just like once a week. And they will change depending on what I'm doing and where I'm at, like, in my life. So still like knitting content, but just a bit more chill. I think the other thing is that I'm really aware of with the podcast is there are so many excellent podcasts out there now that are brilliantly produced and brilliantly researched, and I don't have the desire to kind of go that way. I'm thinking of, like, also known as Nora Knits. It's one of the few podcasts I still watch occasionally. I don't watch every single one, but if I'm going to watch a knitting podcast, I'll normally go and see what Nora's up to, just because I love the way she talks and the way she explains things, and the production is so good. And I'm like, if I'm going to watch a knitting podcast, like, these are the kind of things that I think are really good. And I just, like, I'm not motivated to make something of that high quality. I feel like I'm really good at making good vlogs that look nice, vlogs that have good content, vlogs that have a message, vlogs that are interesting. Like, that's just what I want to do. And I think I'm just trying to find a million different ways of saying, I like vlogging, so I'm just gonna vlog. I don't know if I'm gonna like do like a big like formal announcement, like no more Knitting Pickle podcast, like that kind of thing, because again, I don't want to commit or tie myself to a thing. But I do feel like I owe my viewers some transparency. Like, I haven't said this or shared this, but over July I've actually lost subscribers overall. And this is ridiculous because it's like 50 subscribers overall. I've lost more than 50, but I've also gained people because these vlogs tend to bring people in. But I've never had the situation where I've actually net lost subscribers over a month. That has never happened before. And again, it's like 50 subscribers, and I'm nearly at 30k, so that's like nothing in this grand scheme of things. It's not like my channel has plummeted. YouTube is such a funny thing because, yeah, I've lost subscribers, but it doesn't really mean much because I've got nearly 30k on YouTube, but only 5 to 10k watch the vlogs. But even then, only kind of, it really depends on the vlog, but anywhere between 10 and 20 watch the podcasts. So not every single one of my subscribers watches my content. It's really weird, but I guess there are bot channels and people who started watching and then just don't watch YouTube anymore. Like, you can never really tell, but it's hard to be like, it's scary when you see your subscriber count go down, but then it's not really about that. Yes, the vlogs get less views than the podcasts, but the actual engagement and interaction in the vlogs is different to the podcasts, if that makes sense. I get much more interaction on the vlogs. I get much more connection with the people watching the vlogs because you guys comment and we exchange communication and you share ideas and people talk to each other, and I love that kind of community. That's the kind of community I have over in Patreon. Again, it's a small group of people in the grand scheme of things, but the connection is there, and I think that's something I find that's missing for me with the podcasts. I feel like it's just me talking into the void, and yes, people still comment and like, but I think I just get more from the vlogs than I do from the podcast. And, you know, it's confronting to put myself first. Is it the best business sense? Probably not. I don't really know, but I've always said, like, for me, my decisions will always be based on me and my needs, because yes, I may generate more revenue from making podcasts, but is it making me happy? No. So therefore, I'm not doing them. So I'm not getting that revenue anyway. If I'm pushing out the content that I love, I'm going to make more of it and therefore make more money. But I design knitwear and make content because I like doing it. I love doing it. And I get paid for it, which is excellent. So I need to keep that in mind. But ultimately, if I'm not doing something that I love, I can't sustain it. Consistency, not perfection, I guess. The positive reaction to the merch, you guys are so excited, and I've had some really, really good suggestions. Someone suggested a journal, which is such a good idea, and they do that on the website that I'm using, so I'm going to look into a journal. And someone suggested like a water bottle or a mug, and they have mugs and water bottles. I just need to look into it. I probably won't do a mug. I think water bottle is much better, because you could even just apply it to like your drinking of the water. Just like, you know, let's not stop trying to chug 5 litres of water a day. Let's just focus on drinking water every day. Consistency, not perfection. Before you know it, you're drinking 2-3 litres, that kind of thing. And then mug, I think I would really like to do like a Vlogmas kind of festive, like cold weather mug. They do the metal enamel mugs, and I love those mugs. I really enjoy drinking from them. So, and someone was like, I want a let's crack on with the day mug, and that was what I'm probably gonna do for Vlogmas. Every year I'm like, I want to do let's crack on with the day merch, because I mean, I don't know why it became a thing. It just did. And whenever I start a new vlogging series and I say it for the first time, I get the tingles. So yeah, let's crack on with the day merch, hopefully coming in December. So, oh my god, I feel like this has been the most rambly chat, but it's also, I think it's one of those I'm still processing chats, and I process things by saying it out loud and talking through it, and usually talking at Mr. Penrose about things. Now I'm just talking at you about it. Hello. Honestly, they come upstairs to the opposite end of the house to ask for food when there's another parent right there. Like, oh, it's probably one of the most frustrating things about being lead parent. It's not Mr. P's fault. It's not the kids' fault. It's not my fault. It's just the way things go. When the kids are used to having one particular parent, whether that's mum or dad, be the kind of lead carer, they kind of automatically come to that person even when the other parent is there and available. And as the lead carer, it can get frustrating, because sometimes I just want to sit and do my makeup and chat to my camera. So yeah, oh, I mean, parenting life, come on now. So anyway, one more thing. What's that from? I don't know what the future's gonna bring, but I think it's gonna bring change, and I want it to bring like happiness for me. And I think whatever I decide to do is gonna either way provide like really lovely content that I enjoy making and that people enjoy watching. It just might change. Change is coming, change is happening, change is good. I'm no longer afraid of change. We don't want to stay stagnant. We don't want to be people pleasing. That's the last thing we want to do. So I hope that made sense. I know you'll all be very supportive of me. You guys always are. And yeah, one final thing that Vlogmas in July has taught me is that I absolutely 100% want to do Vlogmas this year. I started the year saying I'm having a year off Vlogmas. Last year's Vlogmas was so nice. I loved making it. I got the balance right. I really enjoyed it. But I got to the end and I was like, I think I'm ready for a break. I want to see December without Vlogmas. I just want to chill. And I think I needed to give myself permission to do that. But Vlogmas in July hasn't felt like it's taken over my entire life. I felt like I've made a nice amount of content. I've not been spamming the content. I'm not been stressing myself out. Not once has there been evening editing. And so I feel like the way I've done Vlogmas in July is going to be really easy for me to do in December, because it's non-invasive. Some days there is a whole day video. Sometimes it's over a couple of days. I just feel like that works much better for me and will be much better in December. I think every time I've done Vlogmas, for me, Vlogmas is sacred, and it's like I used to feel like unless you are vlogging every day or trying to put out content as much as possible, then it's not truly Vlogmas. So don't call it Vlogmas. If it's like one a week, it's not Vlogmas. Don't call it Vlogmas. Vlogmas itself is this very specific thing, and I used to feel quite opinionated about that, whereas now I'm like, no, Vlogmas is for everyone. Vlogmas is what you make it, like, and I've let go of that kind of perfectionist part of it. Consistency, not perfection. So I can see myself definitely doing Vlogmas this year in December, and it will probably look a lot more like this. Has less videos, but kind of stronger videos. I felt like each one of these videos has had something in it that's been different to the one before. It's not just been the same thing every day over and over, and mentally I've loved it. It's improved my mental health. I feel I'm ending this vlogging series like happy and excited and ready to continue making content, not like, damn, I need to take a month off. So yes, there will be a Vlogmas this year, and I'm very excited about it. I think it was the Christmas music yesterday. Honestly, I can't imagine life without Snowed in December. It's just the best song. Anyway, it's been 30 minutes and I need to crack on with the day. So hopefully I can edit this down to a lot less than 30 minutes, but thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Please let me know your thoughts if you have any ideas. You know, again, I've not set anything in stone. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen. There's going to be huge changes, but I just know that change is going to come. So yeah, let's go and see Stonehenge. Pub in Salisbury. Guys, how was Stonehenge?
Good.
Good? Are you happy to be in a pub with apple juice and crisps and drawing? Yeah, Stonehenge was really, really good. I enjoyed it. I was surprised at how much I remembered from when I went when I was little.
What was your favourite?
I don't know what my favourite bit was. I liked all of it. I liked doing the digging. That was fun. There was actually like a decent amount of like activities for kids and stuff. Yeah, it was cool. They're having a cheeky gin and tonic while we wait for some lunch.
I like when we made candy Sadie.
Oh yeah, we took pictures, so it looks like the kids' toys are like sitting on Stonehenge. I'll insert. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? We took a lot of really cool pictures, and you can.
Picking up stones.
Yeah, shall we print them off and put them on like on a poster so you can show them at school? I think I've been putting it off because it's the end of an era. It's the end of a vlogging series, but it won't be the last. We are clearly back home. We got home. Hang on, first of all, when was the last time I chat to you? It was before we went to Stonehenge, wasn't it? So we'll go from there. We went to Stonehenge. It was great. It was really good. Fascinating. The kids really enjoyed it. They found it quite fun. Obviously, you know, they're 6 and 8. They're not like going to be like, let me learn all the information about it. But I think they enjoyed being there. I did as well. And then afterwards we went into Salisbury, which is near Stonehenge and is kind of is it a city? I don't know. Or it's a big town. I don't really know, but it just had a lot more going on in it than the place where we were staying in. We were staying in Amesbury, which was fine, but it like wasn't anything like particularly special, and we wanted to go for like a nice like pub, nice cozy pub. Like, well, I say cozy, like we were outside in the sunshine. We wanted to go sit outside in a nice beer garden, so we did a bit of googling. I will leave links below this video for the Airbnb we stayed in, the pub we went to, and the farm we went to this morning, because they were all really, really, really good. So if you're ever in that area, I highly recommend. And then when we got back last night, we were pooped basically. So we just chilled out. We ordered a takeaway and just relaxed for the evening. And then this morning we got straight up and out, and we went to a farm park with the kids, mainly to see the guinea pigs. My son is guinea pig obsessed. He loves them. A few of his mates have got them, and they have a thing called the Guinea Club, and he just loves guinea pigs. P was feeding the goats. There were some rare breed sheep. It didn't tell me what breeds they were, which was annoying. It was a whole rare breeds farm, but it didn't actually tell you. Or if it did, I couldn't see. I don't know if there was supposed to be like a guidebook or something, but it was just a kind of fun place to spend a couple of hours really. And there was a little soft play though that was quite grotty. The soft play wasn't great, but all the animals and all the outside stuff was really lovely. And yeah, killed a few hours, and I didn't want to just like go all that way to just go and look at some old stones and then sit in somebody's Airbnb. I wanted to like do something else that was fun. Kids loved it. We got home just in time for the race, and my goodness, it was a good one. It was a really, really good race. I won't do any spoilers, but yeah, really good way to end the first half of the season. Summer break now, and yeah, a couple of weeks off the F1. What am I going to do with my life? There tends to be quite a lot of drama in this time though, because contracts get confirmed and where the drivers are going to go next year and like all that kind of thing. So a lot of stuff forward to. But we made it home, we watched the F1, and you're all going to be so impressed with how much I've grown as a person. I've unpacked, I've put the washing in. I have got the kids' lunch boxes and bags ready tomorrow because they're going to a different playgroup that's at a local leisure centre where they can do all like the leisure centre activities. So there's like swimming and laser tag stuff and just loads of different things, and they're going with one of their cousins. So, but we've got to be there at 9, so we've got to leave at 8:15. So it's going to be an early one. So I've like done everything. I've made their packed lunches, I've packed their bags. We're all good to go. And I made us all a healthy family meal, which I didn't take any videos or pictures of at all. I did a sausage casserole, which isn't something I've ever made. I've never been in the mood to make it. I don't really normally like casserole-y stew type things, but I don't know what it was. I was just really in the mood for it. And as I've mentioned recently, the kids are getting braver with the food that they will try. So I just thought, you know, I feel like trying something new. So yeah, it was absolutely lovely. I roughly followed the recipe from the BBC Good Food website. So just search sausage casserole, BBC Good Food, and there'll be a recipe there. But yeah, that was really yummy. So I'm feeling good for having everything sorted, for having a big healthy home cooked meal in me. Like, it was really nice to have a couple of days off cooking and tidying up and cleaning, but I do miss having homemade food. Like, we had some really lovely food whilst we were away, but nothing beats something I know that I've made, and it just makes me very, very happy. And I also think like my love language is like feeding my family. I really, really enjoy when I get to make a meal for all of us and we all sit at the table and all eat it together. That doesn't happen nearly as often as I wish it would, because sometimes Mrs. Penrose isn't even back from work till 8 o'clock. The kids are hungry by 5. Like, it's just this phase of life. But at the weekends, I want to get better at making sure we all sit down together at the table, because we did a lot of that in the Airbnb, because everything, like the living room and everything was so white. I was like, not a single slither of food is going anywhere near that living room. So every single meal, every single snack was at the table in the kitchen, and it was lovely. So I did some more knitting on the way home. I didn't do any knitting last night. I was just a bit pooped, and I don't think I've actually showed you my sock, because I made some really good progress with my sock on the way down there from my sock blank. As you can see, we have our first little tubey fella, so I'm going to be doing an afterthought heel. So I just need to figure out how many rows I need to put it in. I did it roughly the number of rows I would normally do, but I am a little bit worried I've gone too far, because if you look, I think the second sock is going to be extremely different, and I was hoping to finish the first sock by about here, and now I'm thinking, Laura, why didn't you just wait and rip some back before putting in the toe, and therefore it would be like a shorter leg sock? But I just kind of got a little bit carried away, if I'm honest. So what I need to do is I need to weigh this, and if there is less than 75 grams of this, then I know I've gone too far, and maybe I'll take the toe off and rip a bit back and start a new sock. I'm all right with how it looks. It's a bit strange. I would never choose a sock like this. Like, it's dark here, and then there's almost like a line, and it's just the same all the way down there pretty much. I feel like this side is a little, this end is a bit more dramatic. Like, this sock I think is going to be pretty much the same, and then again the second sock's going to be a bit more dramatic. So yeah, currently I don't know how I'm feeling about knitting from a sock blank, but that might just be this particular blank because it is so completely different at each end. If it was a more evenly dyed sock blank, then I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to rip this back a little bit, but that's something to worry about another day. I'm going to be casting on my sister's socks very, very soon, I think, because it's her birthday at the end of August, and we are now officially in August. That's mad. Crazy. And then in a car on the way back, I did a fair amount, actually, on my Elizabeth blouse. I will say it's starting to feel a little slow going, if I'm honest. I'm like, surely I've done enough rows now, and I count and I'm like, I've still got quite a way to go. But the rows are getting long, and you increase like 8 stitches every time, so they get longer quite quickly. But this is how far I've gone. My needle is now too short for sure. I need to put a longer needle on. But yeah, it's really getting there. I also, what I think I need to do with this before I join in the round, and actually maybe I'll put this on a stitch holder and before I make my cable longer, and I'll just give it a gentle steam block, because I just want to double check my gauge, because I haven't actually at any point checked it, and I need to kind of see if I am miles away or close enough for it to be all right. And my main concern is row gauge, because that's how the depth of the kind of Henley is done, and I don't want it to be too deep, because then, although I will always be wearing a top underneath it, but I don't want that Henley neckline to be too deep. So I'm going to double check my row gauge, but only after I've blocked it, I think. So yeah, that's where I'm up to with all my projects. I am looking forward to getting stuck into my Blair top over the next coming weeks. I think with Vlogmas in July, I just didn't have the brain space to fully commit to writing and starting the second sample of the Blair, because they're both very big projects, and I'm just a one big project at a time kind of gal. So yeah, so I'll be moving on to the Blair top next, now that this is all done, and I won't be editing every other day or so. So that kind of brings us to the end. I've been thinking a lot about what I talked about yesterday, about the future of my channel, the future of my content, what I want to do, and honestly I've gone back and forth so many times between just don't make a big, ooh, that was a cool car, just don't make it, you don't need to make a big decision, like you don't have to like say all or nothing, just continue with what you're doing and do what feels right. But then I think I look at the stats and I just kind of feel like if I am to continue making content like this, the kind of more relaxed life vloggy content here on this channel, it's just going to have a detrimental effect on this channel and dilute it. And I think currently my heart is at separating the two and I think I might revert this channel back to Penrose Knits as it originally was, and revert my Instagram back to Penrose Knits, because my website is still Penrose Knits, my business name is still Penrose Knits, like that's who I am. And I had to change that because I lost my Instagram originally, but I eventually got that back, so I have access to it, and I changed the name. So, and all my older patterns all have like Penrose Knits in them as well. So I would have to do some admin and go into my more recent patterns and change it to like change all the Instagrams and everything to Penrose Knits again, not just Laura Penrose. But I feel like I want my knitting business thing to have its own identity now, its own knitting specific world, and then just Laura Penrose going about doing what I do, no matter what that is, has its own separate thing. Because I think I am now going to be worried about posting this type of content when it hasn't got any knitting involved on this channel, and that's going to make me not enjoy making that content. And I really like making this type of content. And then ultimately I just think it's probably the fairest way for everyone, because there are people who are only interested in knitting content. There are actually people who are only interested in the non-knitting content. I get comments all the time from people saying, I don't even knit and I love watching your vlogs, which is always like so nice to hear. And people who like both. And by having the two separate channels, everybody gets to choose their preference. Everybody gets to get the content that they like, whether that's one, the other, or both. I just think that's right. I have actually set up a new Instagram account that's just, well, it's currently more focused on my eating and my like health and wellness and stuff. But I think when I rebrand to Penrose Knits again, I might change my one to just Laura Penrose, and it just be kind of like a bit of everything. Like I haven't had a personal account that's just me and what I do for a long time. I've got a family one, and that's only got people on it that I know, because I post pictures of the kids and what we're up to. So it's literally just for family and immediate friends, people I know in real life who I would trust with my kids, so I don't mind them seeing pictures of my kids. And again, I rarely post on that one, and it's more, I kind of use that one just to like look at other people's Instagrams and see what my friends are up to and stuff. But I feel like I've not had one that's just me, and I think for a long time I didn't feel safe enough to just be me on the internet. It was always like Laura of Penrose Knits or Laura Penrose Knitwear Designer. And I've always blurred the lines. I've always shared a little bit of everything, but to just be me, it's like a big step for me, I think. And it's an exciting one. And I think I've got the capacity to do both. I think I've got the capacity to keep Penrose Knits because I love it, and it's my income now, and I don't want to lose that, because the independence of earning my own money is really important to me. From someone who didn't for a long time and was completely reliant on someone else, that was really hard. I know it sounds cushy, but it's really hard, and it takes away a lot of your independence and a lot of your kind of self-worth. So I have no plans to shut down Penrose Knits and the knitting stuff at all, but I feel like I'm just ready to adapt and change and grow. I've jabbered on about this enough. I am genuinely 100% interested in your opinion on this. Like, obviously, ultimately it's me and my decision, and I'm only going to make that decision based on how I feel, but I am really interested in what you guys think. Am I missing something here? Is there a better option that I've not come up with? Like, I'd love to know. I was thinking earlier about if you don't watch this person, you should. It's Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful. That's her knitting and crochet channel. She does podcasts and everything. She made a second channel, which was This Little Wonderful Life, which was just her family life. And sometimes there's crafting in it because that's her life, but it's mainly just family vlogs. And she separated the two, and she separated them successfully. And I actually watch her vlogging channel pretty much all the time now, and I don't really watch the knitting and crochet content, mainly because I don't really watch anyone's knitting and crochet content at the moment. Like I mentioned before, I just don't have the brain width for it because my mind is filled with all my own stuff. So I do know of people in this industry who have successfully done it, and it's been good for them and their business and their like life and stuff. So I'm currently sitting there I'm gonna split and see how we get on. What that means for my Patreon, I haven't figured out yet. But what I'll probably do is just keep Patreon as it is, and then you get early access to both channels. So anything I post on, maybe not. I think Patreon will probably just stay the knitty side of things. And obviously I do 2 videos on Patreon a month as well. So yeah, I've got stuff to think about. But it's exciting. It's really exciting. So, I suppose all I've got to say now is thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this series. Oh, I nearly forgot the prize winner. OMG. Where's my phone? Ugh. YouTube comment picker. Loading comments. Here we go. Picking a winner. Caitlin Laguerre Fitzpatrick, 1010. Congratulations, you have won the Moonlight yarn. Oh, lovely little moons and yarns emoji. So Caitlin, if you could send me an email at laurapenroseknits@gmail.com, it'll also be in the description box below, then I can get your prize sent to you ASAP. Yay, congratulations. So thank you everyone who entered the giveaway and who has been watching all month long. It's been the funnest of months. It's been wild. I still can't quite believe that I went to Silverstone this month and that was only a few weeks ago, and like everything I've done and everything I've been up to, and it's been a pleasure to share it with you all. It's been lovely to chat with you guys in the comments, and I'm gonna miss it. It's the first thing I do most mornings is sit and catch up with my comments and read what you guys have got to say, and I love that part of it, and I'm gonna miss it. But stay tuned. Hopefully you'll be seeing some lovely new content from me soon. I think I probably am gonna film a podcast soon just to catch up everyone who has not been watching Vlogmas in July with what I've been doing, because I've certainly got enough content for it. And whenever I sat and thought, okay, no more podcasts, it made me go, oh, but what if I want a podcast in the future? So I don't think I'm going to be like, no more podcasts. I think I'm just going to do what I want when I want. Because I'm a grown woman. Anyway, I need to round this up. So thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you all have a fabulous August, the rest of your summer or winter, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.